don't know, it might seem a little bit early to be out now recording, but animals are spontaneous. You never know when something's going to streak across the road. Now my thing's all blurry. Too many cars out right now. Fouke Road, 1 mile. That's what that sign says. Maybe I was thinking of a different highway. This was like the interstate. Sorta. I don't know. There are no cars out here. Wait. Maybe 71 was the road I'm thinking of. Maybe 71's the one with all the sightings. I honestly don't remember. They're not roads that I'm familiar with, so trying to remember. 3/4 of a mile. I wonder if Fouke's got gas stations, Bandit. We're right in downtown Fouke, though. I mean, I don't think we're going to see the Boggy Creek monster. We need to find our way down to the water, either by the Sulfur River, the Mercer Bayou, or Boggy Creek itself. I'm going to shut this down for a second because I don't think we're going to see Bigfoot walking down Main Street. I'm on 71. I went through Fouke, and don't know, I saw this thing called, it said Doddridge 12. Is that like a mini town? The town of Doddridge? Is that like the population of 12 people? I mean, it's right outside Fouke. I mean, it doesn't seem like you wouldn't have a city with just 12 people. I don't know, man. I've never been to this part of Arkansas. What do I know? I'm looking for a boat ramp, and what is this right here? Miller County, that way. I don't know if I want to go that way. I don't know where I'm going. I don't have very good GPS signal out here. But, I mean, it's easy enough. Just turn around and go back into Fouke. You know, I got an atlas and everything where I can navigate. But I'm just trying to get to an area where there's water in a parking lot. And I'm just going to park it there. But I haven't seen, usually when you go into a small town like that, they point you in the right direction. But I don't know, maybe not here. It's just river access or something like that. I think if I keep going down, I'll come to a bunch of river crossings and bridges and stuff like that. Oh, so as I got gas, I looked across the street and I saw the Monster Mart. I had no idea that the giant monster on top of the building, I had no idea that its eyes glowed. That is wicked as heck. That is cool. It's so cool. I love the design of that building. It's so neat, so creative. There was another building that said something about monster something. It had an outline of Bigfoot on it, but I didn't get to see what it actually said. It wasn't far from the Monster Mart, but I couldn't see it in the dark. All I knew about was the Monster Mart, and I'm looking around, and there's definitely a few things that mention the creature. I want to keep my eyes on this road. I want to keep the camera on the road. In case, I don't know, anything runs by. I don't know what this, do they have bears out in this part? I don't know if they do. Probably not. But, I mean, maybe. I'm not willing to say anything about this area and its wildlife. I don't know enough about the wildlife. I'm assuming that it would have similar wetland habitats, similar things. I'm starting to see things on the side of the road, and paranoia is setting in, honestly. You know, it always gets that way. You know, you see something out of the corner of your eye and on an infamous road with tons of sightings. I don't even know exactly where these sightings are. I don't even know if I'm going to come out to like an open parking lot area for like a boat ramp or whatever. I don't know what's up here. I don't know where Mercer Bayou is. I got some details when I contacted Lyle Blackburn, and he gave me some information. But I'm not too worried about it. I got a full tank of gas. I can afford to just drive around in the dark and wonder what will happen. What's this up here say? That's Highway 24, County 24, County Road 24, something. I think that might actually, I'm trying to remember if Lyle said anything about that particular road. I really need to look and see what he said in that short response, that exchange that we had a few weeks back. See why something would hang around in this area, and I can see why sightings persist. I mean, look at this road. I mean, I got one car behind me, but there's not a lot of traffic. It's quiet. You know, not a lot of people. People are turning in. They're closing up shop. It's not even, I mean, I don't know what time it is right now. Let me look at my phone. To give you an idea, I mean, it's not even 10 o'clock yet. And this town is like all but shut down. this area is quiet, and I mean, it's 10 o'clock. Can you imagine what 12 o'clock, what 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning must be like? Like, completely just still. I bet everything crosses these roads at that time. And, you know, a few people would come through, they're passing through, going to Texarkana or something like that, and they are coming out at a weird hour, and it catches nature off guard. And that's where I think a lot of these animal encounters stem from, and where the Boggy Creek monster encounter might stem from, if it's out here. I can't get a good look at the environment around me. It looks very low elevation, kind of flat. I can't see a lot of distinguishing features. I see a few clusters of trees and things like that, but I don't know what it's like. Looks like I got a pretty busy highway through here. It's probably safe to shut the camera off for now. Okay, so I'm right off Highway 71. I just took an exit that is access to the Sulfur River. And there's something in the road there. Looks like trash, I can't tell. This is creepy. Right off of Highway 71, I don't know if this would be a good spot to set up. I don't want to get robbed, man. I think the river's down here, though. Gosh, I'm just trying to back up so I don't... You know what I noticed, though, is if for some reason I ever got attacked by Bigfoot, the Boggy Creek monster, or whatever you want to call him, what does this say? Highway 71 access Sulfur River provided by Arkansas Game and Fish Community or something. Arkansas Highway. Federal aid project, no alcoholic beverages, loaded firearms prohibited, please keep area clean. So as far as it says, that's the only sign that I saw coming in. I don't think there's anything about no overnight camping. I think this is pretty much a 24/7 access point. Gosh, man, I'm so... Being in Fouke is one thing. Being along the Sulfur River, along Highway 71, where I believe all these sightings have taken place, that's another, man. I mean, there's cars going across the road now. I don't think anything's gonna stir around right now, but gosh, like I was saying earlier, you know, this highway, this river access point, come 2 o'clock, some scary stuff could happen. Some really scary stuff could happen. Okay, so here's the thing. I guess I am a little bit scared of the Fouke monster, watching Boggy Creek and all that other stuff. I'm just driving in circles at this point. I don't really want to have my back turned to the road if somebody shows up. I don't really want to have my back turned to the forest either. The problem with being in this truck is I can't just get out and run, you know. I mean, I guess that's what I'd have to do, but if I had to leave in an emergency, I can't just wake up and put the keys in the ignition and drive. The problem is if anything starts skulking around, or anybody starts skulking around, I have to run out of the back cab, run around, and get in here, get in the driver's side. Now, as it stands, I got my back window facing, so if somebody comes into this parking lot late at night, I'll get the light will come through. Hopefully they'll band it off, and if somebody comes in, I'll get a heads up and I'll be awake and ready if they're an unsavory bunch. The last thing I want to do is come to a place like this and it be a point for drug trade-offs or something like that. Now, Fouke seems like a friendly farm community, down to earth. That's the picture that's always been painted in my head, but I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of bad stuff about Arkansas in general. A lot of that could just be superstition. That could be a lot more towards the city, like Little Rock or something like that. But just never really being in Arkansas before, I've got a lot of rumors and other things to sort through. And it's got me worried about what kind of people are here. And it's got me worried about, I mean, honestly, this is a lot. With the Pacific Northwest Bigfoot, and with the skunk ape, they're pretty passive. They're pretty shy from reports. This whole Texas and Arkansas Fouke monster stuff, this is scarier. There are a lot of reports of these things, like being aggressive, chasing people off. Maybe not attacking or killing them, but definitely throwing their weight around and showing that this is their land, this is their territory, or this is their whatever, and they stake a claim and don't get any closer. That intimidation factor is kind of across the board, but when I think about the individuals in the climax of the Legend of Boggy Creek, the family, and I think about the thing breaking through the window and, trying to grab a guy and stuff. The movie, I don't know how much of it was dramatized or anything, but I know that the real life, or the allegedly true encounter, the guy claimed that he was taken to Texarkana Hospital for shock because something put its hands on him and tossed him around a bit. I don't really know what I'm getting into. Like I said, I made a point on the podcast, the last one that I recorded, that I'm fascinated with these monster stories and things, but I put forth the effort to go and look for them. But deep down inside, I question whether or not I want to find them. Those were my own words that played through my ears today as I played back my old podcasts. Previous recordings, so the idea that I'm right off the Sulfur River, the idea that I'm off of 71, and there are so many Bigfoot sightings in this area. If something starts rocking my truck tonight, I'm gonna freak the heck out. One thing that I wanted to do that I didn't get the opportunity, I wanted to put on my call blaster, I wanted to put gunshots on it. In case at any point when I'm doing field research, if I feel like there's something in the area and it's acting too aggressive and it's getting too close, even though I don't have a gun, it'd be nice to blare out some firearm sounds. That might be enough to intimidate something away, scare it off. But I didn't do that. So I'd have to hope that if something's acting aggressive. What is it, Bandit? What? Oh, don't you start doing that now. Don't you start getting nervous. He's like alert right now. I don't know if he's just ready to get out. Or we're not alone. I'm so freaking paranoid. I gotta ease into the monster thing. That's why I wanted to do the Bigfoot conference and all that other stuff. I really didn't think I'd end up in Fouke my first night. I thought there'd be something I'd be coming back and finishing like the last 5 days of this trip. But here I am. It was on the way. Why not, right? I like a slow descent into the land of monsters. We are here now. We are in the back of our little garage area in the truck. So next to Highway 71 is the interstate. So I think for quite some time it's probably going to be noisy traffic. Whether or not it'll die off, I don't know. I know highway traffic dies off as it gets later at night, but the interstate might be persistent because you got all night truck drivers and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. This isn't too bad. If I can fall asleep to the sound of these vehicles, and I'll be okay. I can tune it out, I think. I think the more sound that I hear, the more confident I am that there's probably not going to be anything to show up in terms of big old hairy monsters. But there is the human element. I have to be very aware of potential people to show up. I don't want any crazy, twacked out drug people coming in and trying to rob me. I don't have a gun, but my best defense right here is by my side. I've got this machete / saw / you name it. I'll be willing and ready to flash it out if people start giving me a hard time. You just can't take strange happenings from strange people. Gotta give them what for. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I think I'll go to bed now. Because my other personalities are starting to wake up. And that's the first sign that I'm sleepy.